If you apply to Cambridge, when we assess you, we will assess you as an individual in your context, trying to get a sense of your academic potential in relation to the academic potential of everyone else who applies. So what does that mean? Context is something broadly that we look at on three levels. There's individual context, such as whether you've been on free school meals in the past 6 years, whether you've ever been in care, whether there are any extenuating circumstances which have affected your education or your application process as it comes up. We also look at context on the level of the school or college. So what the average GCSE score was of your school, for example, the average A-level performance of your school, how often people from your school or college go on to Cambridge and Oxford and university in general. And then we look at context on the level of the postcode. So how often people from your postcode area go on to higher education and what the socioeconomic characteristics of your area are. So we're looking at context at all times when we're assessing Cambridge applications. And so with the amount that we talk about context, sometimes people might understandably wonder why we don't make contextual offers at Cambridge. A lot of universities do, so they will look at contextual factors like the ones I've discussed, and they will therefore lower the offer that they set at A-level for candidates who meet those contextual criteria. At Cambridge, we don't do that. Our minimum offer is always the minimum. It's A-star AA in broadly the humanities subjects and A-star A in the sciences. So why don't we lower our offers for people who meet certain contextual criteria? Well, the answer is that we think that people who come into Cambridge without having met that minimum offer at A-level are more likely to struggle with parts of the course and not have a great time here. That is why we do not deviate from our minimum offer at A-level. We do have that one standard that candidates are all asked to achieve. But it's really important to stress that there is no minimum GCSE requirement, there's no minimum requirement on our admissions test or our interview or any other part in the process. It really is just that minimum A-level offer. Also, it's fair to say that if you take your A-levels with an offer and you achieve slightly below the minimum offer in the subject, it's not impossible that you might still end up with a place.